Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be unveiling a brand new build. As you guys know, the Camaro is very close to becoming done. It is pretty much 98% there. We're just waiting on a few finishing touches to come in the mail. And then of course it has to go to the dealership to have that check engine light taken a look at. And then after that, that car is 100% done. So it's about time we get another new build. So right here next to me is the new build. We just got it in yesterday. It took a few days for it to get down here. But basically, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna play the clip of us taking delivery of the car. And then I'm gonna go... Clip brings us to now. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the brand new build. So here's a little bit of a story on this car. So actually unloading the car wasn't as easy as it should have been. The loader at the Copra was actually being super disrespectful. I asked him if he would be able to unload the car, and for whatever reason he thought I didn't pay for it. I tried to show him the invoice, but he kept telling me, he's like, I don't care to see the invoice, which didn't make sense. So I went ahead and I just went inside the Copart and I explained to him the situation. The guy at the Copart desk, walkie-talking to him, he said, hey man, this guy already paid for the car, go ahead and unload it. And dude, this guy just had a super negative attitude the entire time. I'm not sure why, but basically the car is here now, it's off the trailer, and the loader did damage it. I'm not sure why he was being so rude right off the bat, but I guess that's just how it is. But let me show you guys the quick little damage that the loader did, and then a backstory on why this car is here. So this is the dent right here. Basically, he hit the car's antenna on top of the trailer, and he created a nice dent here and kind of loosened up the antenna too. So basically, me and my brothers, we were able to actually kind of just pop the dent out from underneath. We can probably get the rest of it later. I think we should be able to resolve that pretty soon. The backstory on this car is actually, I'm rebuilding this car for my dad. So my dad is an amazing guy. He's always wanted a Cadillac. I feel so bad for him right now because he's actually driving around a 2014 Kia Rio with over 110,000 miles on it, with no AC in that car. I thought that my dad should have something nice to drive. He said that a Cadillac is his dream car. He would love to have a Cadillac one day. And then this one popped up on the auction, and I told my dad about it, and he said, we'll bid on it. Our top dollar, I'm just gonna tell you guys how much we got this thing for right now because the deal is just so amazing. So basically this car right here, we were gonna bid about $10,000 on it. We ended up winning this thing for $8,100 final bid. So it's super crazy we got this car for the price that we did, because this car is a 2021 and it has a lot of amazing options on it as well. Insurance paid out the original owner $45,000 for it. So it's a pretty amazing deal that we got on this car. My dad is gonna also be helping me with the rebuild on this. We're gonna be building it together, like a cool little father-son project. So it's amazing. We have this car right here. I'm super excited to give it to my dad. This is honestly one of the builds that I've been looking so much forward to, because I've been planning to build a car like this for my dad for quite a while now. And now patience is key. Now we are able to rebuild the car for my dad. Now, besides the loader, the truck driver that delivered the car, he was actually extremely nice. So huge shout out to that guy. He was super nice. He tried to help out as much as he could. He understood that the loader was not the guy. I went ahead, and before the car even got picked up, I told him to go ahead and ask Copart for any extra parts that are for the vehicle so we can get those as well. And I am super glad I did that, because guys, we got so many parts that were not in the photos. I'm not sure if they weren't in the photos but were just included, or because he got them just for asking for them. But anyways guys, let's just go ahead and take a look at the damages now on this 2021 Cadillac CT5 Luxury. We have a full, complete front bumper. This completed right here is about $2,000 for all this stuff right here. It's amazing. Got all the DRLs, all the grills, everything is in perfect condition, except for this DRL and this edge of the bumper here. But I'm pretty sure that we can save this. I mean, you guys saw how bad the bumper was on the Hellcat over there, and we were able to plastic weld it and make that nice and smooth with some glazing putty. I think we can pull it off here too, just straighten it out a little bit, and then that will be fine. And then we'll just replace the DRL, and this will be a fully perfect front bumper. And then not only this, but we got a wheel and a tire. So this tire is flat right now, but the tire itself is good. And this car on all fours is wrapped around with Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, the same tires that are on the Camaro. That is absolutely amazing. These things are a pretty penny as well. So I'm super happy we got these. The rim, at first I thought it was good, at least to drive on temporarily. Turns out this thing has the smallest bit of damage in the back of it. Just got a hole right there. So now it lost all the pressure from that hole back there. Other than that, I think this will make a pretty good wall decoration because these wheels are an option. So I'm super happy to have these on this car because the stock wheels are a basic alloy wheel and they're just a plain alloy color. So this is pretty cool that we have some like some dark gray metallic and some silver. That just looks amazing. And then we even got a perfect condition rotor, hub, and caliper bracket, and somehow control arm. But this thing, the knuckle itself does have a crack, so the knuckle itself will get replaced, but we also got all the hardware. And then of course here's the fender. It's absolutely destroyed. We have a bunch of under shielding as well for the car. And look at the strut right here. This thing is just a banana now. This thing took quite a bit of a hit. I probably shouldn't even be standing by it because it'll probably explode. But then we have a strut mount. I'm pretty sure that this is okay, but I might go ahead and replace this just in case, since it did take that kind of a hit on the strut. I'll probably replace that. Got the nice control arm here, an inner fender. We also have the headlight here. This thing has seen better days, but we did get a computer in the back of it. I'm not sure if this is a computer module that is programmed specifically to the car. We might or might not need it, but we'll see. It's good that we have that though, so super glad that we got that headlight. And then we have a bunch of other inner fenders and little air deflectors and just random miscellaneous insulator piece, and then we got the washer reservoir there. So we got a fair bit of parts that were in this car. The best part of all is probably this bumper and of course that wheel. But now let's just go ahead and take a look at all the damages. Let's move this bumper out of the way. All right, so now the bumper's out of the way. When we took delivery of this car was fully locked out. The keys were zip tied to the steering wheel. The windows were rolled up. The hood was fully latched down. But luckily, since the front bumper wasn't on, I actually was able to stick a 10 mil in here with a wrench through the backside of here, just ever so slightly through the back of there. And I was able to loosen those bolts up to get the hood to pop up a little bit, to get access to the battery cables over there to jump the car. And then I was able to go inside, open the door. Luckily, the car was at least unlocked. And then I was able to pop the hood all the way and open it. But now all that has been resolved. So let's go ahead and pop this hood so you guys can take a look at it. Airbox was also in the back of the car, but we just put it on because we did have to start the car to bring it inside because it was stuck on that ledge over there. But the car didn't go into gear. I'll explain more on that later. But let's go ahead and take this airbox off because it is obstructing a few damages that I want to show you guys. So this car clearly probably like hit a guardrail or something and then like ran into a ditch because this thing is covered in mud and dirt everywhere. I mean, look at the back of the bumper. There's just dirt and everything right here. And then the wheels and tires are all covered in mud and dirt, and there's just dirt and mud everywhere in here. I'm not going to show you guys the interior just yet, but there's some mud in there as well. But basically, let's start looking at the damages in the engine bay section of the car. So we're going to open this up right here, and we have, some just brackets and stuff broken around here. The radiator support's a little bit pushed in. But the main thing that we didn't know was damaged on this car, that was actually a bit of a surprise, still fixable, we're still going to fix it and everything, is this. Take a look right there. Man, Superman or somebody just like went through there and just straight up punched in there. Just like ate that thing up. And then not only that, whatever hit through this, I'm going to assume maybe it could have been a guardrail. Or whatever hit this, it came through and it hit this part of the engine right here. Now, we thought that that was the exhaust manifold. I did some digging and I found out that that is the turbo. So this right here is the turbocharger. And we did start up the car, so here's a clip.
What was that?
So that turbo sounds pretty broken in there. It probably sucked in some metal shards and stuff. So that's definitely getting replaced. And this strut tower is going to get replaced too. The good thing about this strut tower is that it's actually made of cast aluminum, and then down here is steel. So that's all on rivets. No welding necessary for this area here, so that should be pretty easy. So that's pretty much all the damages for the engine bay. This car is a run and drive. So all we have engine-wise that's damaged is the turbocharger, and then structural damage-wise, we have the strut tower, this radiator support, and then the rest of the structural damage is right here on the side. So right here on this right apron on the top section right here, this thing took a pretty good hit right here. This part right here is all one piece, so this is replaceable right here. So we're gonna go ahead and switch that out too. Obviously, we're gonna need to do some pulling before we cut anything out because all this stuff is kind of out of whack right now. And then looking down further, you can see exactly what happened here. Something just came right through there, put a hole right into the turbo right over there. That's just crazy on how something like that could have done that. And then the frame rail itself also took a pretty good hit. Right here, we got a nice little tear right here, got hit there, and it got hit here. I'm thinking this rail might be able to be saved. We just got to pull those damages out right there and then weld this crack back up, and I think it should be good. And then other than that, that's all the frame damage. Now over here in the suspension corner, did actually get a few parts, so like the control arms and all that, it's okay. But we do need a whole strut assembly, an end link for the sway bar, an inner tie rod. And I think this brake caliper is bad because it is just leaking fluid. It is actually missing the piston itself, so we do need a new caliper. There's no piston to be found in there. Not sure where that piston went. But then unfortunately, guys, this subframe is probably one of the most expensivest parts on this car, and it's just hit in the most tiniest way possible, but in the most critical spot as possible. So take a look right here, guys. Right there on the lower control arm mount, it just took a crack and then it just tore it right off. So in the most critical spot, the subframe broke. So that sucker has to be replaced. I don't know why. I kind of wish that wasn't an issue, but it's in the most critical spot, and it's the most tiniest damage too on it. Then obviously we do need a new fender and a bunch of miscellaneous other things like the washer bottle and everything. This door is okay. This hood, there's a pretty good dent right here. Just a lot of dents all over the hood and everything. This hood will be saved because this hood is about $1,100. So it's a pretty crazy price. We will replace both of the hood hinges though, because this hood is pushed over and it's pushed up. Then on this side, looking at this side of the car, it looks like the air suspension or something has just blown out because the car's sitting super low. But the fact is that this car, none of the CT5s actually run on air suspension. They're all on coils. So what it is that happened here is the fender brackets actually got bent down. So the fender itself is actually down, not the wheel. So suspension is good. We just have to fix that bracket and bring the fender back up, and that'll be all good. So guys, this car's completely dead and all these door handles are electric. So let's go ahead and hook up the booster box and I'll show you guys the damage in the inside. All right guys, so I got the key right here. I hooked up the booster box and it is on now. So I went ahead and actually put a new battery in this key, so it should work now. It already turned on, but let's go ahead and make sure this is at set 12 volts. All right, guys, so come on inside the new build, the 2021 Cadillac CT5 Luxury.
Dang,
yeah,
that interior.
This thing is pretty epic. So basically what we have that's damaged on the interior of this car is here. I'm gonna open this rear door right here, get a better look at everything. So we have both curtain airbags deployed. If you look in there, there's the other one. Driver steering wheel, driver knee, driver seat, all those airbags are intact. Driver seat belt though, it is locked up and it is blown. So basically the only damage in here is airbags. Passenger seat airbag, that is blown. So we're gonna have to stitch up the seat, get it looking nice. It had a nice clean rip though, so the stitching, everything should go nice and fine. There's no tears in the seat. And then I'm sure you guys have noticed that this car, I'm sure you guys have noticed that this car has wheel locks on the wheels. So thankfully, we do have a wheel lock key, so we don't have to do the old socket and hammer method to get those out. But super nice interior in here. Bose Performance Series speakers all around. Got the dual sunroof up there to let all the sunlight in. Super nice in here. got leather and stitching everywhere. The screen is huge. Let me turn the power on for you guys. Take a look at that. Thing is humongous right there. And then we have wireless charging here, and then the cup holder and an electronic shifter, which is super nice. And then there's actually 3 places where you could change the volume and the channels on the radio on this car. They're on the steering wheel, they're here, and they're up here. It's pretty crazy. Only got 15,000 miles on the clock, and then those are all the lights on the dash. So airbag light, obviously, and then ABS traction and brake is because of the suspension. Engine light, 2 reasons. 1, because the car's not actually on, it's in the accessory mode, and also because of the turbo and the airbox map sensor. So pretty crazy right there. Everything's electronic on this car. So taking a look over here, and then there's just a bag down here for some reason. And oh, look at that, some more parts down here under this floor mat. A bunch of broken things, parts of the headlight. Oh snap, check this out.
Show them the wheel. Oh,
dude,
the brake pad.
We got it.
Looks perfectly good.
That's perfect. That's a perfect. Hold on, guys. Come over here. All right, guys. So we just dropped the rebuild price down another $100 because I actually had to order brake pads online because we were only missing 1 brake pad. The other brake pad is right there on the back. So thankfully now it's $100 cheaper to build this car. We got a brake pad. That is amazing. Basically, this car's damage was all focused right here in the suspension section, right here on the side. It missed everything in the front, the rebar, everything is perfectly fine. It was just right here on the side, just brushed up against it. Looking at the way the fender got hit, guys, I'm gonna show you the fender. I think the impact came from this way and kind of just hit everything like this. Because if you look at the way this got hit, it's pushed up this way. The tie rod is bent that way. So I think everything kind of just hit it forward, and then looking at the fender right here, it's also hit in that kind of a direction. So I think that's what happened with this car. Car battery keeps turning off. Nutty little car. You want to put that in the video and play with it?
Yeah.
Right. Hurry. Oh no!
Oh. Wait. Let me get the angles. Should we put the bumper up there?
Sure. Alright guys, well I think that's gonna be all for today's video. This is an amazing car. I'm super happy to get it, and I'm super excited to start working on all that framework over there because I'm super excited to learn how to do the spot welds and the rivets, and there's a lot of panel bond over there too. I'm super excited to get this car done and hand the keys over to my dad. It's gonna be super amazing. I'm definitely gonna love working on this car. It's a lot of stuff to learn. It's gonna be my first time replacing a turbo, so it's pretty exciting stuff with this car right here. But that is gonna be all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys are loving the Cadillac or that little toy car that we just played with, then go ahead and leave a like down below. And while you're at it, there's a shiny red subscribe button that you should click. But that is all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.